Continuing on in section 7.5 here, in example 3, we can find the new amount by evaluating things a little bit differently. So we can take 100% of our original amount. And since we increased it by 12%, we're going to add on 12% of the original amount. Another way of doing that, guys, is by taking our percents and adding them together and then multiplying by our original. Since we multiplied here and here by that original, we can just multiply once and add our percents together first and then multiply. So here's another way of doing those last few problems. This suggests another way to find a new amount. So for a percent increase, we're going to multiply the original amount by 100% our original total plus our percent increase. For a percent decrease, we're going to take our original amount, or 100%, and since we decreased it, we're going to subtract our percent change and then multiply by the original. So in 1983, the average price of an audio CD was $21.50. By 2000, the average price had decreased by 34.8%. What was the average price of a CD in 2000? So we're comparing 1983 with 2000, which means this is our original. So $21.50 is our original amount. So we're going to take our original amount, $21.50, times the whole part of that original is 100%. And since it decreased here, we're going to subtract by our percent change, 34.8%. And find the amount that we still have. So if we used to have 100% and now we don't have 34.8% of that, we're looking at 65.2%. Now, we're going to switch from a percent to a decimal by moving 2 places away from our percent since we got rid of our percent sign. 2150 times 0.652. And my answer here is going to be $14.018, which rounds to 1402. So in 1983, it was $21.50, but by 2000, the average price was $14.02. It decreased by 34.8%. So we subtracted that percent first and then multiplied instead of subtracting the amounts dividing to get our percent. Okay, so let's retry these ones here using that same idea. So we are going to increase 45 by 20%. So 45 is our original amount. And since we're increasing, we're going to add. And we start at 100% because we want the entire original amount. And increasing means we're going to add 20%. That means we're going to have 120%. Now, again, we're going to get rid of our percent sign by moving our decimal 2 units away. So 45 times 1.2. And when we take 45 times 1.2 here, we get 54 for our new amount. And that's the same as we got when we did it the other way, where we set up our equations, multiplied and subtracted. So whichever one works here, guys, we're still going to multiply and either add or subtract. It's just in a different order. And here we're going to add our percents first and then multiply by our original. In the other one, we multiplied by our original and then added our amount. So either way works. It's just whichever one you're more comfortable with. So here again, we're going to start at 85. We're going to decrease 85, which means we start at 85. And we want 100% of that to begin with. When we decrease it, it means we're going to subtract by 28%. When we do that, we get 72% here. Now, we're going to get rid of our percent sign, which means we're going to move our decimal away. 85 times 0.72. And when I do that, I get 62.1. 61.2 there. 61.2. My bad. And that's the same thing we got when we did it the other way, where we multiplied, first of all, by our original amount, and then subtracted and then divided by the negative, we still get to the same place, but here we're going to subtract and multiply just in a reverse order. So whichever one is more comfortable for you. And that's all I have for section 7.5.